Hi guys, how's it going? Welcome to my Virgin Kitchen. Tonight we are going to be going to Alaska, baby. Not really Alaska itself, but we are making something called Baked Alaska. And I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking polar bears or icebergs. But no, this is something healthy. It's an exotic food. It's actually got some pineapple in it. Can you see that in the background? That pineapple just about there. There we go. Pineapple. That is a fresh pineapple. This is possibly the most intimidating fruit I've ever had in my kitchen. Kind of scared, right? But what we're basically going to do is take this pineapple, cut it in half and dig out the flesh. Now with that 100 grams of flesh, we're going to keep, 100 grams of that flesh, and the rest of it you can just throw away and keep the top and maybe have some fancy decorations around your house, okay? So that's what we're going to do with the pineapple. You also need some Pinot Grigio, like white wine, about a tablespoon of that. An orange, which we're going to peel. We're obviously going to take the peel off of it, and then we're going to just cut it up into nice little neat orangey chunks. You need some icing sugar, see that, icing sugar. Probably a good couple of tablespoons of that, and then we're going to sprinkle it on at the end. 3 eggs. Now with the eggs, you're basically going to chop those up. Well, not chop up an egg, but you're going to break it, get rid of the yolks, do what you want, throw it in the garden. You know, you can drink it if you're, a health freak. But the egg whites we're going to whisk in a bowl like that with a little bit of icing sugar to make it nice, so it's nice and stiff, which is going to form a nice meringue to go on top of the pineapple eventually. Okay. And also, just to go with the topping, we've got some fresh mint there. You can see mint kind of camouflaged. There you go. It's kind of camouflaged in the jungle. So the first thing we're going to do, right, is just basically get our oranges, peel that, pineapple, sort that out, do the eggs and whisk them up. And it shouldn't take too long at all, guys. So let's get going, right? Right here then, guys, as you see, the oranges are all done now. I've cut them up. And there is my egg whites in the bowl and my mixer. So all I'm going to do is mix that up so it's nice and stiff, alright? Okay then, guys, egg whites are done in the bowl. Look, there's the test on top of my head. Hasn't fallen out. Look, that was kind of lucky, right? So now what I've got is 2 tablespoons of icing sugar. What I'm going to do is basically just plonk it in the bowl like this. And then grab my mixer again and start to just blend that in. Right here then, guys, so that's mixed in. It's a teeny bit more runnier now that's in there, okay? So bear that in mind. I've moved all my other ingredients to one side, just chilling out there. And I've got my pineapple there. So here we go. What I'm going to do is get a knife and cut down this way, okay? So let's see how we get on, right? Okay, so that is cut in half. Look at that. I can put this on my head. I can do funny stuff with it. So we're left with this bit. This is the bit we're going to flesh out, okay? So what I'm probably going to do is cut around the edge real fine and start to dig it out with a spoon. Remember, you need to keep 100 grams of that flesh because that's going to go back in there, alright? Okay, there we go then, guys. As you can see, I've cut around the edge of the pineapple. Give it a little squeeze. You can see it's coming away a little bit there. And then what I've done is just cut a little chunk out at a time. And there's my piece there. So I'm just going to keep hacking away at it until I get right to the bottom, and I've got my pineapple shell then, okay? So obviously if you're a pineapple expert you would have probably beaten me already, but I'm just going to keep going and we'll see when we've just got a shell. Right ahead then, guys, look at that. Woo! That is our own little pineapple cup right there, and as you can see I've just weighed out, there's my scales for evidence, 100 grams of the pineapple, so I'm going to cut that up into chunks, and I've still got loads of flesh left, so I'm going to clear that up, probably eat it actually because it's so fresh, it tastes blooming good. Feels like I'm actually in the Caribbean, you know, just chilling with my homies and all that. Anyway, so I'm going to just tidy that up, cut the pineapple up, and then we can start to chuck the stuff in there. Good times. Okay then, guys, there you go. I've mixed in the orange and the pineapple together, and I've just used this little cup to weigh out a tablespoon of wine, of the Pinot Grigio. There we go. It's actually Phoebe's cup, that one, so I'm going to have to make sure I wash it out good and proper in the morning, otherwise she's going to be drunk. So what I'm going to do now is basically just chuck all the fruit in there, fill it up, and then pour my wine over the top. So do that, guys. Right here then, guys, look at that, that's nice and flush to the top. So I'm just going to grab my wine. I've actually just preheated my oven to gas mark 6 as well, so go do that, okay? Right, get your wine and just pour that over. Hopefully the alcoholic content of it will absorb away, otherwise I'm going to get drunk too. So actually, maybe that's not such a bad thing. So do that, get your oven on, and then what we're going to do now is grab our meringue and start to spread it on the top. So get this, and just go whoop, like that. Easy peasy. Right here then, guys, just to clarify, I didn't actually mean just chuck it on, okay? So all you need to do is just, what I had is just got a spoon with the egg white and just layered it on the top like this. So it all looks good like that. As you can see, I've sat it in a baking tray. So all you got to do now is shove that in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes, and hopefully the meringue should firm up, and just as it starts to brown, pull it out, we'll sprinkle some icing sugar and a bit of the mint on there, and then job's a good one, all done. So let's get going. Okay, then people, that's in the oven doing its thing. I've got a nice big plate there ready and a couple of mint leaves, also my icing sugar there and a sieve. But unfortunately the handle on my sieve seems to have gone missing, so what I'm going to have to do is just do some weird tapping thing. If you know where the handle on my sieve has gone, let me know. But also, got a little bit of leftover wine, so bottoms up people, while that's waiting to cook. Do your thing, right? Nice. Okay then guys, there we go, it's out the oven. As you can see, it's all nice and brown, firm all around it. Got quite a decent colour on it, so all I'm going to do now is just garnish it and get it on my plate. So let's do that. Right here, so the leaves are on there. I'm just going to get my sieve and just tap it gently. Almost like a snow effect in Alaska. There we go, maybe that's where the Alaska bit comes from. So that's now covered the leaves and the pineapple meringue in the funky icing sugar thing. So there we go. That is what it looks like. Let's just hold it up to the light a little bit so you can see it. Now I am dead chuffed and proud of doing that. So what I'll do now is probably get stuck into that, give it a little taste, let you know what it's like, and if I can do that, anyone can. And see you next time, right?